Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new market update in which we will be discussing and focusing on Bitcoin alone, as that's currently the subject with the Coinbase IPO happening tomorrow. But do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel as we have hit 60,000 subscribers and we're getting close to that 100k target within a few months. So do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, as that's the way that I'm growing this channel to a bigger audience and to provide you quality content rather than any hype momentum. Now, what's next in the markets? Let's shift to the charts, in which we can see that Bitcoin is currently facing some momentum as it's approaching the all-time high like we see on the chart here. However, what's most likely going to happen tomorrow when the Coinbase IPO finishes? The most likely occurrence then is that we're going to have a correction, to be honest. Usually such an event as the Coinbase IPO is a buy the rumor, sell the news event through which the rumor is happening or the event takes place or there is some hype towards the actual event. And then once the event takes place, the hype drains away, sell the news, and there happens a correction. This is also a very likely chance to happen to the exchange tokens like Binance Coin, like KCS, Huobi token, etc. As those tokens have all been lifting upwards right now because of the momentum that we have with Coinbase IPO. And also Binance just announced that you will be able to trade futures on stocks. And the first one is going to be Tesla. You won't be the owner of the Tesla stock if you buy it through Binance, but you can trade it, which makes it very dynamic. And I have been looking forward to that a lot, given the fact that you want to value Bitcoin against Tesla, etc., which creates an open market and creates way more data. And if you're a trader and investor and analyst, that's literally what you want to have, as then you can just swap between assets through which you can just continue building your wealth the best way and the easiest way. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, but still there is a chance that we're going to have that buy the rumor, sell the news event taking place with the market right now. So let's discuss where we stand with Bitcoin at this point. We have been discussing it slightly yesterday already. The crucial breaker is on the left top here. That crucial resistance zone is literally the only one that we have to break, and then we're going to have new momentum. But as you can see, price of Bitcoin can't really break through this final resistance zone. And if it doesn't, we're going to reverse again. And then you know that there's not much of support beneath us until 58k. And I can assure you that once we are breaking down to 58k, we're going to have a very, very harsh correction on altcoins as well. I think that once we start to make this correction of even 3 to 4% of Bitcoin, altcoins will most likely just drop 10 to 15%. Should you be freaking out? No, that's just healthy markets. That's why you make a portfolio that's risk averse or lower risk, in which you have Bitcoin in your portfolio and not only everything in altcoins. So if we can't break through this resistance zone, I'm assuming we're going to have this reversal. Once we get to 58k, I think this is the critical breaker that we have to break through. Most likely we won't. And then we're just going to consolidate, through which we get the opportunity to get the 21-week MA crawling back upwards, through which Bitcoin is going to move sideways, and then altcoins will do well. Also, if Bitcoin makes a breakout upwards above the all-time high, doesn't really mean that altcoins have to do poorly, as in during 2016 and 2017, Bitcoin was also crawling upwards, and still in that period, altcoins were doing well. It's just the instant pumps on Bitcoin that could drain the Bitcoin values down on altcoins. But given the fact that altcoins are currently still on the floor, or most of them, it shows that there's still a very high potential that we're going to see a very large alt summer in which altcoins will do well. But you should remind yourself that the moment that you're going to see those altcoins run away, and when everybody is jumping into them during the summer, that's usually the moment that you should be selling them off. So right now, positioning yourself is still the key. And then during the summer, I would advise to use sell your altcoins or just day trade alone, because then you've made your money, and once you've made your money, you should be defending your money, right? So this is currently the outlook on Bitcoin, and you know that once we are going to break above the all-time high, the chances are that we should be flipping this level for continuation. So you know that I'm not really a big fan of all those all-time high breakouts. I'm more looking whether we can flip the previous high for support so we can continue in a bullish manner. Just like we have been breaking upwards here from 58 to 60.9, and we flipped this previous OB for support, after which we continued. So the same outlook I'd like to have once we break above. If we do break above, I think we want to flip this entire region for support before we can even continue. If we fail to hold on to this support, you can be sure that we're falling back into, and then this entire scenario starts to play out. So these two scenarios I'm currently watching. I'm not too bullish short term on Bitcoin, given the fact that we have the event. I might be wrong. I'm still positioned well on altcoins, so that's completely fine. But this is just what I'm looking at with Bitcoin. Where do I buy my Bitcoin? I do buy my Bitcoin at Bitvavo. I also cash out through Bitvavo. I trade some altcoins through Bitvavo. It's one of the easiest, cheapest, biggest exchanges in Europe. Also very user-friendly for you to use. So if you're starting and you want to get a touch with the exchanges and with cryptocurrencies, this is the exchange that you could go for. There's a link beneath where you can start trading through Bitvavo. So that's just a small promotional talk, but this is the exchange that I really like, and they are also compliant with the rules as one of the first. So that is wonderful. And next to that, if you have money on your savings account and you get like 0.1 interest, you can get 6% interest on staking on USDT on Bitvavo as well. That's also something that they give. For Icon, it's about 11%. Then, what is the overall outlook for Bitcoin in itself, as it's just currently looking like we make a bubble top, right? I think we're just in the phase that we had in 2017. So if you have this chart here, and you only have the data that we have on the right here, you would assume that we are in a bubble, right? Because once something starts to break out of the accumulation range, it goes vertical and it never really comes back. And because it stands like this, it always looks like it's going to be in a bubble, and it comes back down heavily in the near future. That's also what's happening with many altcoins right now. They make this accumulation period and then they accelerate and never come back. But some people are expecting all those altcoins and USD values to come back to the 2020 December levels, which might just not be happening anymore, because when you start scrolling further down the line, you can see that we just accelerate even further in a later stage. So right now, everything like this movement, or what we see with Bitcoin right now, is to break out above the all-time high, is most likely that we're just in a new cycle. So these levels that we had in December 2020 are not going to be hit for Bitcoin, are not going to be hit for altcoins anymore. But could we have a corrective move on Bitcoin after the event? Yes, that's depending on how the daily is going to close in general, and that's depending on how we are going to evolve from here. If I see this chart, it looks like it needs some consolidation in general. And we also know that the 21-week MA is just a little down us, never really had a test since September 2020. We also know that we've got those consolidation periods in the markets in itself. That seems like we're going to have one as well. But that's all based on the fact that we can't really break above the all-time high. If that doesn't happen, we're going to reverse and test 58 and 56K. And then we get the consolidation period. If we do break above all-time high and fail to sustain support above the previous high, I'm assuming we'll be getting a consolidative period as well. And then the 21-week MA will crawl up. We get just a sideways action, just like we had in any of those periods. And then the altcoins will do really, really well. So that's my update for today on Bitcoin. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again tomorrow with a fresh new one, and have a wonderful day. And also, for all my Muslim friends, have a blessed Ramadan. I'll see you around.